President of the Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, has thrown his weight behind the clamor for the revival of Nigeria's ailing textile and manufacturing sectors by urging the National Assembly to pass a law that would penalize sale of banned textile materials by imprisoning culprits without any option of a fine. He made the call in Lagos while presenting the second Adeola Odutola lecture titled Agenda Setting for Industrializing Nigeria in the Next Decade in commemoration of the 50th Annual General Meeting of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. Nigeria's local currency is set to weaken further next year as its current exchange rate to the dollar is well above fair value, according to Bank of America. Here's a quote from the B of A sub-Saharan economist Tatonga Rusike. It says 3 indicators: widely used black market rate, the central bank's real effective exchange rate, and our own currency fair value analysis shows the Naira is 20% overvalued. We see scope for it to weaken by an equivalent amount over the next 6 to 9 months, taking it to as high as 520 per dollar. That's the official exchange rate. The leadership of the House of Representatives has intervened in the ongoing dispute between Nigeria and foreign airlines over the controversial trapped funds belonging to the airlines. Here's Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila.
Block funds is not peculiar to Nigeria, correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not
just like Nigeria, the quantum.
Exactly.
It's a quantum.
Yes.
So it's a normal thing.
It does happen in other countries.
Okay, I needed to understand that.
While we are considering the issues in aviation industry, please let us know that if these countries that are frustrating us are enjoying privileges in Nigeria, we must demand also for reciprocate actions.
Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu joins us to discuss further. Good morning, Chika. Thank you so much for joining us. What did you make of that very interesting meeting in the House of Reps with regards to the aviation sector?
You know, this has become a favorite topic for us. They say they all cried in the night and the child died in the morning. FX, dollar. The issue is not dollar. I don't know the day. But I was happy that, when the speaker started the meeting, he said, we came here for one narrow issue. And I was going to scream because the issue was not that narrow. And I was happy that by the time the committee session progressed, he saw that the issue was more holistic than that. I've talked several about aviation politics. Aviation politics is major. The summary of it is that countries do not want the other airlines from other countries to come and compete with their other initiating airlines. That's basically what it is. But having said that, I said this issue is dollar. Are you surprised? When our allocation for crude oil is 1.8 million barrels a day, and we're doing below 1 million barrels per day now. Oil contributes to about, depending on where you look at, some say 90% of our foreign exchange earnings, and then that's our dollar earnings. And then it has been battered, it has been beaten through. You've seen our colleague Amaka, you've seen all the pictures, all the videos, all the news she brought for us about, the stolen oil, the stolen crude oil, the ships that have been burnt, and so on and so forth. So don't be surprised that what is happening. Our crude oil's major source of earning is oil. Is below 1 million barrels per day. So it's not coming in we're not earning dollars as we're supposed to be earning dollars. So what are you going to be sharing? The cry of the foreign airlines is the same cry that manufacturers have been crying all over the time. It's the same cry that foreign portfolio investors have been crying all the time. It's the same cry that even domestic airlines have been crying for their spare parts. So the issue at the end of the day is how do we expand our earning base on dollars, on foreign exchange earnings? And I'm happy that on the oil side, some things have been done. Listen, history repeats itself. We have been through this before, 2016, 2017. And what saved us was the fact that oil prices moved up and our production stabilized. and we're able to come out from this kind of problem. Now, so the solution starts from going to make sure that our source of dollars, source of foreign exchange earning, which is oil, is protected. And the man who has government in his name, Tompolo, his government is working with him on that now. I'm hoping that everybody believes, even the Minister for Finance believes that there be stability in the oil production sooner than later. So that's the issue. But the bigger issue in that in the session yesterday was the issue of reciprocity in Basa. Reciprocity in Basa. The Basa is not just about remitting dollars, as one of the presenters said. That's one element of it. The other element is fairness and level playing field. If you see the kind of frustration that Nigerian airlines have gone, if you had a full testimony of one of the Nigerian airlines on their, attempts to, go on the London route, you would have been shocked. The same thing happens also when one of the Nigerian airlines wanted to go to Dubai. The same thing also. So the international aviation politics is always playing. Emirates will never want any Nigerian airline to come to Dubai. Virgin would never want any Nigerian airline to come to London because of competition. And that's where the government, Ministry of Aviation, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs must come in there and support our flag carriers in these guys. They will, if you just the airlines that are trying to get those landing rights, it will never happen. And so when that is happening now, our airlines are going to these other countries. They also be owing us dollars while we're owing them dollars. On a net basis, this quantum of dollar that they're talking about now will be reduced.
Thank you so much, Chika, for breaking this down. Can you quickly, before we go, touch on the Bank of America forecast for the for the currency in the new year?
Okay, they talked about the fact that the dollar will be devalued up to about 20%. I'm sure that's what they're referring to. What do we see in the basket? Demand and supply. They just looked at the fact that where is the oil, the dollar source coming from, which is what I just spoke about now. The dollar is coming from oil production, 90% of it. All our attempts to expand the net of our non-oil exports have just marginally increased, even despite the best efforts of the Central Bank of Nigeria. So the issue is, where is the dollar coming from? And I'm hoping that they are wrong, because if our oil production, crude oil production goes up to 1.6, 1.8 barrels per day, and then oil prices still hold at $90, $100 per barrel, we'll be able to grow our reserves. And the Central Bank of Nigeria will be more confident to defend the currency. And then their projection may not come to pass. But as it is now, they're just looking at what is available. And the trajectory is what is there. Basically, looking at the CBN rate now, the free market rate as it is, and then took a position in the middle if the two rates are merged.
Chika, very quickly, Aliko Dangote is calling for a law that backs jail time for smugglers of textiles in order to try to boost the textile industry. What do you make of that, if that law was to come to pass?
Do you know that at the time, when we started our banking career newly, the textile industry was the highest employer of labor outside the government. But suddenly, most of the textile companies all disappeared and collapsed because of lack of patronage. And, textile is one item that is smuggled. There's many other items smuggled. I can understand Africa's richest man, his passion in this respect. But smuggling is smuggling. If you're smuggling oil, if you're smuggling rice, if you're smuggling maize, if you're smuggling sugar, smuggling is smuggling. So we just need to deal with the smugglers, according to the law, and also help in equipping our agencies, the custom and other security agencies, and make sure that they are motivated enough to prevent smugglers. And of course, the laws are already there for how to deal with smugglers. I'm sure the jail time is already there. Maybe Alhaji Dangote is talking about implementation and maybe more enforcement.
All right, business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, as always, thank you so much for joining us to take on the headlines. Appreciate your insights.